When it comes to running a business online, one of the things you're going to have to do is sell. Now, there are so many ways of selling. However, if you are selling via consultations, i.e. you are speaking to somebody because you're either selling some sort of service or coaching, anything of that nature where you have to speak, you will undoubtedly face what are known as objections. So in this video, I want to cover one of the most frequent objections that you will hear or that you might come across, and I want to give you two things in this video. I want to share with you how to avoid getting that objection in the first place, which actually is my favorite strategy, and of course what to say if that objection does come up. But in all honesty, your goal really is to avoid getting that objection. So I'm so excited to share this with you, and if you stick around till the end of the video, I will be showing you how to avoid getting the objection of your price is too expensive. So you've got to stick around till the end of the video to see that. If it is your first time on my channel, hello and welcome. I'm Pam Obasa, the founder of The Lucrative Lady, and on this channel I talk all things sales, sales systems and social media. In fact, I have one goal and one goal only, and that is to help you to create a lucrative business. So if this sounds like something you want, or if you find value in this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell, and of course give this video a thumbs up. So I want to dive into this video right now. Tell me, have you been on a call with somebody and they have said, you know, I'm really sorry, I love what it is that you do, and I will, I'm thinking of it, but the price is a little bit on the high side. Have you heard that objection? Oftentimes there are so many ways to handle that objection, and I find that 99.9% of the time people are handling that objection wrong. So I want to share with you sort of the psychology behind that objection and how you can handle it most effectively. So in order to share this with you, there are a few things that I want you to see on my trusted assistant over here. So I'm just going to open it up. Let's dive in. Let's turn to a new page over here. When it comes to handling this specific objections, there are two main routes that most people take, and I'm sure when I share it with you, you'll understand at least one of them, or perhaps you're doing both of them, and I want you to stop doing both of them. The first is cut your price. That's what a lot of people do, right? So somebody says your price is too high, and the immediate response that a lot of people would say is, okay, you think it's too high? What if we did it for this? What if instead of $1,000 or £1,000, we did it for 800 or whatever it is? Or what if instead of 10,000, we do it for 5,000? You know, essentially you start to cut down your price. No matter how you do it, you are trying to cut down your price. What it does is, number one, it makes you look desperate. That's exactly what it does. You see, most people have the misconception that if they cut down their price, that the other person would say yes, but no, actually it makes you look desperate, and nobody really wants to buy from somebody who they feel is desperate or who they feel needs their money. No, your ideal client needs to know that they need you, not the other way around. So when you start cutting your price down, you start to look desperate, you start to look needy, and all of that, what it does is, number two, people start to lose confidence, right? So they start to lose confidence in your ability to actually help them, because, and guess what happens? The moment you start to look desperate, they start to lose confidence in you. Guess what happens? They price down further. So it's a downward hill from there. So you might say, let's say you have a package, I don't know what it is that you're selling, but let's imagine that you're selling something that's, let's call it $1,000 or £1,000, right? Just for monetary sake. And then you go, oh, do you know what, I'll do it for 800. There, I can almost guarantee you that their response is going to be, could you do it for, I don't know, a little bit lower than that? So they keep going because they have seen that, number one, you're desperate. Number two, they've lost confidence in you, and number three, they're going to take advantage of the fact that you are on a downward hill. You are going down the slope, and it's going to keep going, and before you know it, they will actually end up saying no, because guess what? They were never designed to buy from you in the first place because they had lost confidence. The other thing that it does when you cut down your price is that it devalues worth. So it devalues the worth of your program or product or offer of whatever it is that you are offering. The value is totally, completely gone, devalued. And then that leads to the final thing, number 5. If all of these things happen, i.e., you appear desperate, people lose confidence, the price begins to just spiral downwards, the value is gone, right? You have been devalued. What it leads, if they do say yes, and that's a massive if, is that you get bad clients. And I want to tell you this for free. Nobody wants a bad client. A bad client will end up costing you in the long run. They might cost you money. They might cost you more time. They might cost you a little bit more expertise. They'll keep going back and forth. And at the end of the road, you won't even be appreciated for the work that you did for them. So you can see why option 1, which is cutting down your price, is not the best option, because it leads to so many negative things that you do not want for your business. Option 2 then, what most people teach is this. For option 2, in order to handle this objection, is charge your worth. Have you heard that before? Charge your worth? I'm sure you have. I used to hear it all the time. Charge your worth, Pam. Just charge your worth. Now here is the problem with charging your worth. Number 1, most people don't know their worth. Most people don't know their worth. And so when you say charge your worth, I actually think that if a person isn't very confident, or if they don't understand their market value, what their worth is, you're actually sending them down the wrong road, because, you know, what does worth mean, right? Charge your worth. If in their eyes, if in your eyes you don't feel like you're worth anything, then guess what? You're not going to charge very much. So charging your worth is terrible advice, in my opinion. Number 2, the other thing with charging your worth is, if they're not charging based on their worth, they're charging based on somebody else's worth, which is based on somebody's standards, right? So it's based on somebody else's standards. But the problem is, you don't know that person. You don't know what their backstory is. You don't know where their pricing strategy has come from. And so when you charge based on somebody else's standard, or industry standard, so to speak, I mean, if there is even such a thing, right? It just makes no sense to me, because you don't know these people. You don't know what their backstory is, what their background is. You don't know how many testimonials they have and success stories and all of these things. That is the reason why they have their prices the way it is. So you cannot base your pricing on somebody else's standard. Now, the third reason why you shouldn't charge your worth is that when it comes to charging your worth fluctuates based on our emotion, right? So one day you feel amazing, you feel good about the work that you do. The following day you feel pants about the work that you do, and so that following day, when you're feeling a little bit down, you start to self-sabotage. Do you know what I'm talking about? A lot of people start to self-sabotage and think, do you know what, is it even worth what I'm charging? I've heard my third no of the day, which is my 10th no of the week. Well, perhaps, I'm not even cut out to do this thing. So if you charge based on your worth, then your emotions are tied to it, and therefore your worth fluctuates up and down depending on how you feel. So it fluctuates. So do you see why charging your worth is just absolutely terrible advice, in my opinion? Don't do that. So what I don't want you to do when you have this objection is, do not cut your price, and don't even think about charging your worth, because that fluctuates. You cannot stand by that, because it is tied to your emotions. So next I want to show you how you should charge instead. So let's turn to another page. Here is what you should do instead. Charge and position your price as premium. Now, how do you do this? There are 3 key things that I want you to think about. Number 1 is high ticket. Number 1 is charging high ticket. Now, what does high ticket mean? High ticket means different things across different industries, but it basically means that whatever your industry is, you want to be at the top end of that, or even above whatever your industry is, just above. Because believe you me, there are so many people charging at the lower end. The moment you start to charge what everybody else is charging, or you're trying to fit into industry standards, you become just like everybody else. And guess what? You are judged according to the same ruler as everybody else. Even if you are extra special, you're better at what you do, and you can help those people, your ideal clients, better than everybody else. It doesn't matter. The moment your pricing is like everybody else, guess what? People start to see your brand and your business like they do everybody else's. So what I do, and what I always advise my clients to do, and what they all do, is we all charge high ticket. We charge premium because we don't want to be balling or operating at that lower level. You want to be high ticket, which is high level, which therefore gives your ideal client that perceived added value purely for the sake that you charge higher. It's like going into the furniture shop, for example, and you want to buy a sofa, right? And you see one that, I don't know, is £10,000 or $10,000, and you see another one that's $1,000. They could look the same, right? They could even be with a similar material or the same material, but I can almost guarantee you that the one that's 10K, in your mind, you're going to look at that and go, oh, yeah, that's premium. Oh, I can see why that is 10K. You're going to sit on it and go, oh, it feels different. Oh, I like the feel of this, even if they are the same. But because of their pricing, your brain, your mind says, no, this is obviously better. Because otherwise, why would it be 10K if it wasn't better? So imagine if you charged according to what everybody else is charging at the lower bottom. Guess what? People look at the people charging premium and go, well, that is clearly better, even if they might do the same thing as you do. Number two, the second thing that charging premium does is that it gives you committed prospects. When you are charging really low, or when you are allowing people to hack your price down and to give you objections such as, it's too high and you're starting to reduce your price, is that you attract bad clients. But when you are charging premium, what you do is you attract committed prospects. We have premium programs, and I can tell you everybody in there is committed. They're excited, they're going for it because they know it is an investment, which is very different to when your price is really low. People feel like they're spending money. So when you have, I'm spending money, the other person says, no, I'm investing my money. You see the difference in the mentality of the two. And finally, people are in it for the long game. People are in it for the long game because they've invested in themselves, and so they're expecting a return on their investment because it was high ticket, you charged premium. So I want to share a simple formula for how to price your offers, your program, your products, or whatever it is that you are putting out there, especially for those of you who want to charge high ticket, so premium. How do you price it? I have a formula that I use, and that is income goal plus positioning plus opportunity costs. Up cost equals the investment. So let me explain that. Income goal plus positioning plus opportunity costs equals the investment for the offer. Let me break each one down. Let's talk about income goal first of all. So what is your income goal? What is your money goal from whatever it is that you are putting out there? If it's a program, what is your money goal for that? So if you said, my money goal is, I don't know, 10K or 100K or 50K, whatever your money goal is, it doesn't matter. It could be 500, it doesn't matter what it is, but you've got to know what your money goal is, because you've got to take that into account before you price everything else. Because inside of the money goal, what's included is your cost of the actual offer, of fulfilling the offer, fulfilling the service, or creating the product, whatever it is that you are putting out there. It also includes the cost of marketing and all of these other things. So when you're thinking about your income goal, you have to have factored all of those things in order to have a figure that not only covers, what you have spent, but gives you a profit. So that's income goal covered. The second thing I want to cover is your positioning, right? What is positioning and what does it mean? Positioning essentially means what is it that people think about your business or about you, if you're a personal brand, before they've even heard the offer. The positioning, honestly, is one of the most important things. And in a moment, I'm going to be sharing with you how to avoid getting this objection. So the way that your brand is positioned determines how much money people are willing to pay for it. I'll give you an example. Imagine if you had a designer handbag. Let's say it's Gucci or Louis Vuitton or whatever it is, or Prada, whatever it is you like to wear, it doesn't matter, but say designer handbag. If I package that designer handbag in a Primark paper bag Would you still pay £5,000 or $5,000 for that bag? Would you? No, because of the way it was positioned, because of the way it was wrapped up. Now, this is what a lot of people do in their businesses, of course, right? They are a designer handbag. That means that they're it. They know their stuff. But nobody will ever know that they know their stuff because they're not positioned well. So that means that when I look for you on Instagram or on Facebook or on LinkedIn or watch any of your videos, I'm not seeing premium. And if I'm not seeing premium and then you try to give me a premium price, of course, the person is going to say, oh, well, that's very expensive, because that objection actually comes from a place of their expectation. So that means that before they got on a call with you, they already had an expectation based on the way that your brand or your business was positioned. They have that in their mind. So they know, oh no, roughly it's going to be this amount of money. So therefore, if you try to go above that, it's like, hold on a minute, it's too expensive, because your business wasn't positioned well in the first place. And then the final point is, of course, opportunity cost. When it comes to opportunity cost, what does that really mean? If your ideal clients do not take your offer, right, what is it costing them? So I have a client inside of our mastermind who is a wonderful coach for women who are looking for that ideal life partner. Now, what is the opportunity cost for them if they do not get their help? Well, they have a lot to lose. They remain single. Now, because these are women who actually want to be with somebody, remaining single is not an option. So therefore, they might be miserable just because their heart's desire is to be with somebody else, right? The clock is ticking because she's working with people who are at 40 and 50 and above. So their clock is ticking, right? They don't know how to show up and how to present themselves on social media. They're her ideal clients I'm talking about. So the cost, their opportunity cost is huge, right? Or imagine if you were a coach who is helping people with their marriages. What is the opportunity cost of that? Well, they could get divorced. They could get divorced. They could get divorced. They could get divorced. And we know what comes with all of that. You get divorced, you lose the kids, you lose the house, or you're fighting over the kids or fighting over the house, and all of these really negative things. So the opportunity cost is huge. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So in order to think about your pricing, you've got to really think, what is my income goal? How is my business positioned? What is it costing people to not say yes to my offer? And then when you have that, that is then when you are able to go, now this is the investment. And I've used the word investment specifically, right? This is the investment for this program. So it's not the price, it's not the cost, it's the investment. Because if they invest in themselves, they will avoid all of the things that it would have cost them if they didn't invest in the program. So now I'm going to walk you through, if you do get this objection, let's imagine you do, here is how to answer it. And then after that, I'm going to be sharing with you how to avoid getting that objection. So you're on a call with somebody and you've given the investment, you've shared the investment, and they have said, oh, it's a little bit too expensive. The first thing I want you to look at is, number one, the first thing I want you to think about is, are they a good fit for you? Right? Are they a good fit? It's so important for you to know whether they're a good fit or not, because oftentimes when somebody has that objection, it's because they're not the right fit, so therefore they cannot see the value. So are they a good fit? Remember that when somebody gets on a call with you, you are interviewing them, not the other way around. They're not interviewing you, right? The ball is in your court. You are in control. So are they a good fit for your program? And if they're not, therefore, of course, they would say it's too expensive because, well, they're not the right fit. You need to be willing to let them go. And if they are the right fit, here is what you need to ask yourself, and that is number two. Number two is, have I communicated the value? Chances are that if somebody has this objection of it's too expensive, unfortunately, my darling, it means that you have dropped the ball when it came to talking about your offer, because they just can't see the value. So that's why they think it's too expensive. And for that, you need to go back and really understand how to hold consultations and really understand what it is that you offer and where the value is, and how to communicate that value in a confident and clear way that your ideal clients really understand. And number three is focus on the benefits. When a lot of people hold sales conversations, one of the reasons why they're getting a lot of these objections is simply because they're focusing on features versus benefits. So what are features? Features are the various things that comes with an item. So let's imagine I have this phone in my hand, right? It's a phone, right? We can see. What are the features of this phone? Well, it has a case, okay? it's a phone. These are features. So if I was selling this phone and I started to talk about, you know, the fact that, you know, it's an iPhone, you get a case with it, you get some earphones with it, etc. Those are features. But the benefit is, what is the benefit of having that specific case? Or what is the benefit of having those specific earphones? Or what is the benefit of having that specific phone? Like, what is the benefit? What will it allow you to do? Let's say the phone came with earphones that allowed me to, I don't know, this isn't impossible with earphones, but allowed you to just think, right? And let's say somebody called you and you have a thought, and in your head you just think answer, and bing, right? That call is answered. That means you don't even need to touch the phone. That's a benefit. That's what you focus on. Do you see what I'm trying to say? You don't focus on the phone, the earphone, the speakers, or the phone cover. No, those are features. So you've got to look at your own offer and stop talking about the features, i.e. we're going to be working together for 12 weeks and we're going to be meeting on Zoom and it's going to be amazing. Nobody cares that it's going to be amazing. They care about the value. Do you see my point, right? So these are the three key things that you think about. One, is it a good fit? Two, have you dropped the ball? Have you really communicated the value? Number three, have you focused on benefits? And if you haven't, that's what you then begin to talk about at that point. Now, as promised, I want to share with you exactly how to avoid this specific objection. Now, I actually already gave away the answer a little bit earlier in this video, and I'm going to reiterate. Remember earlier I talked about positioning, right there in the middle. It's all down to positioning. If you want to charge premium, yes, you can wake up and you know, take up your price today, that's fine. But will people pay it? Like, really search yourself, ask yourself honestly, will people pay? If you added 3K or something to your price, would they pay that today? No. Chances are your business isn't positioned. Now, how do I know this? A lot of people, when they get on a call with us, one of the things that we ask, you know, I have a team who take calls for us. One of the things that my amazing team would ask is, what did you find Pam? And they would always tell us the specific areas that they found me. And so what we started to do is we started to position the brand in a specific way so that before people actually get on a call, they already have a certain mindset, number one. They already know what we are about and what we can do. So therefore, when they get on a call, I'm not actually trying to sell. So when it comes to positioning your brand, you've got to look at your business as a red carpet. You've got to roll out the red carpet. So think, what platforms are you on? Are you on Instagram? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Clubhouse? Are you on YouTube? Wherever your brand can be found. Do you have a website? All of these places are places to really position your business for premium. So if you have premium pricing, position your business for premium so that when people look at your brand and they see it and you're clearly trying to sell an expensive designer handbag, they also see the packaging. They also see it and go, yes, this is what it is, and therefore you don't have to convince them. So you've got to really position your business. Now, when I started to do that, it really removed, in fact, I'll be very honest with you, even though we have high ticket pricing, I don't remember the last time, I honestly couldn't tell you the last time I had this specific objection. But I can tell you that when I first started my business and when I really struggled to sell, this was one of the biggest objections that I really struggled to overcome. And then I realized that, no, actually, I didn't need to overcome that objection. I needed to position my business differently so that that objection was never really a problem. And that's what I did. Once I reversed the whole thing, it sort of removed that objection so that we didn't even have to think about it. So I hope this was of value to you, and if it is, definitely let me know in the comments, because it shows me the kind of content to create for you, and I love creating stuff for you guys. So do let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions for me. In fact, I'll go one better. If you're struggling with sales conversations or selling your offers, then I want you to click the link below this video and schedule a no-cost complimentary consultation with my team. During the consultation, we will sit with you and look at your business, look at your offer and all of the things that you have going, and show you where you are leaving money on the table and give you clarity on your next steps. Nothing gets better than that. So go ahead and schedule that under the video. Now, I look forward to hearing from you guys in the comments. I want to know how valuable this was, and if it wasn't, let me know that it wasn't, so I can create other stuff for you. Now, before you go, check out this video where I dive in even deeper on how to hold sales conversations, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. See you then.